You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening live, my name is Clint Davis. Sitting next to me to my left is actually Chase Howard. He's going to be taking care of some Twitter coverage. Dennis McCaslin is on my right, and we are with todayinfortsmith.com. Covering Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball right now at 6:30 p.m. And we are looking at the starting lineups. Taylor Collins is coming out first for the Lady Bulldogs. Cameron Johnson is on her way out to the floor. I'm telling you, I keep seeing them toss these T-shirts around, and I don't know how to get one. We might come up with one of these days. Hannah Boyette's on the floor. Here comes Madison Chambers. And last but not least always, Jalen Mays. So now we've already had starting lineups for the Poteau Lady Pirates. That's who came to town today. And, of course, the boys' game will be at 8 p.m. Later on, we will see them. So now we are getting things set up for a tip-off in the middle of the court. And hopefully the music will stop soon. Here we go. We're panning that good stuff down. And Taylor Collins ready for the tip for the Lady Bulldogs. And Hannah Boyette received the tip, has possession. Cameron Johnson over on the right side looking for Taylor Collins down low. She goes up for two, and that's good. The first 2 points of the ball game belong to the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs, and the score is 2-0. And here come the Poteau Lady Pirates looking for something to do. 0-0 Jada Price with the ball, passing it out to the left, way out to the left. Nothing doing out there. That's number 24, Victoria Archie. She's at the top of the key, almost out by half court now. There's a dish off to the left side. And a little drive around, and she's going to throw it smooth out of bounds. And they're going to go ahead and point that back to Muldrow. That was last touched by the Lady Pirates. Here comes Hannah Boyette down the floor. Over to the left to Cameron Johnson. Back to the middle to Shaylin Mays, and she's going to bring it on down on the inside. And they're going to call a charge on Shaylin Mays. That's going to be her first foul of the game. And so that ball belongs back to the Poteau Lady Pirates. Here's the inbound pass to them three, Mika Bluford. Mika Bluford. And the Lady Pirates trying to find something to do. A little pick set on Madison Chambers and a drive to the inside. And the shot's up no good. Get their own rebound. Hannah Boyette with a block. The Lady Pirates still have control. And they're going to dribble it out of bounds. But that's going to be last touched by Hannah Boyette. Possession stays with the Lady Pirates. And number 3, Mika Bluford with a drive over to the left and a hook shot up. And that's no good. Rebound by Taylor Collins, and she's just going to fast break it straight up the floor and slow things down, and a pass over to the right gets knocked out of bounds by the Lady Pirates. And the ball is going to stay with the Lady Bulldogs. Madison Chambers out of bounds. And here's the inbound pass to Hannah Boyette. She's going to bring it to the top of the key, call for a little offense, pass to the left to Cameron Johnson. Dish down low to Shaylin Mays, and her shot gets blocked. And here's a pass down low to Poteau. A hook shot up, blocked by Taylor Collins. And Madison Chambers going to drive it down low and give it to Shaylin Mays, and she goes up. And 2 points are good for Shaylin Mays. The score is 4-0 now with 5:50 left in the first quarter. 3-point shot for Poteau, way off the mark. Rebounded by Poteau. There's a shot put back up and missed. Rebound by Shaylin Mays. And Shaylin took a hard blow on that last play. She is going to walk gingerly down the floor. She's going to go actually have a seat And Alicia McCloria is in the game for Muldrow. Lady Pirates with the ball in the inbound pass. Taylon Collins letting everybody go nowhere, and they're going to call a walk on 00 Jada Price. And the Poteau Lady Pirates have turned over the ball again. Here's Madison Chambers out of bounds. Hannah Boyette bringing the ball up the floor in the middle. Down to Taylon Collins. She's going to bring it back out top and give it to McCloria for three. Nailed it. Next 3 points of the game belong to the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs, and they are up 7-0 with 5:16 left in the first quarter. And Poteau having a hard time dribbling the ball. Madison Chambers with some heavy defense and a great backdoor pass, but a missed shot down low. Rebounded by Taylon Collins, and she is going to bring it all the way down and pull it up. And there is a pass to Hannah Boyette. She fakes and drives and loses the ball. And Lexi Wood is going to slow it down for Poteau, and she's going to drive to the inside and go up with a shot way off the mark. And White 15 with the foul. That's Cameron Johnson, and that is going to send Lexi Wood to the line for 2 shots. First shot is up and good, and Poteau is on the board. Second shot is up, and it's also good. Lady Bulldogs now with a 5-point lead, 7-2 in the first quarter, 4:40 left. Pass over to the left to Madison Chambers, back to Hannah Boyette at the top of the key over to McCloria. Down to Hannah Boyette in the corner. Cameron Johnson is going to throw the ball away and get it back, and they throw it away again, and Cameron gets it back. Pass to Hannah Boyette on the right side. McCloria top of the key. Madison Chambers over on the left. Pass away out to the right to Hannah Boyette for three, and that's just a little off the mark. Rebounded by Cameron Johnson. She puts it off the glass for 2 more points, and the Lady Bulldogs are up 9-2. And we have a whistle. We have a player with a busted nose. Got a little bit of blood on the floor. We are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Then we're going to bring you back in live, and the Lady Pirates have inbounded the ball. They have possession now after the blood spill. Here's around the back and a dish off to the left side, and Poteau, the Pirates, with a drive, and there's a shot up, no good. A rebound and a shot down low is no good, and the rebound by Paige Hughes, and she's going to get it knocked out of bounds, and the possession will stay with the Lady Bulldogs. So Hannah Boyette bringing the ball up the floor now. And a pass over to the left to Paige Hughes. Cameron Johnson still in the game. There's Hannah Boyette for three, a little bit off the mark. Madison Chambers with a rebound and a shot back up, no good. Rebounded by number 24, Victoria Archie for Poteau. And here's a pass down low and a drive and a shot up, and that's good for Poteau. And that will be the first foul on Hannah Boyette for the game. And we're going to see 00 Jada Price at the line for 2 shots. There is one up and good. One shot after the point made. And the score is 9-5. Lady Bulldogs lead. And there is a ball lost by Alicia McCloria, and there's an around the back and a drive to the bucket. And a shot up is no good, rebounded by Paige Hughes, and she throws the ball out of bounds. The Poteau Lady Pirates will have possession again. 4-point lead now, 2:50 left in the first quarter for the Lady Bulldogs. Score is 9-5. We have 3 team fouls on Muldrow, 0 on Poteau. And there is a travel by Poteau. And here is a pass over to the left side. Alicia McCloria for 3, and that's off the mark. Rebound by Shaylin Mays. Hannah Boyette comes up with a loose ball. And she gets fouled underneath the bucket. And Hannah Boyette, first free throw is up and good. Lady Bulldogs now with a 5-point lead, 10-5. And the second shot is up, and it's also good. 6-point lead. 2:20 left in the first quarter, 11-5. The Lady Bulldogs lead. Here's a pass down the court by the Lady Pirates. And they're going to throw it completely out of bounds, and the Lady Bulldogs will have possession again. Here's a pass over to the left to Paige Hughes. And Madison Chambers now with a dish off to Shaylin Mays, over to Paige Hughes. Back to Hannah Boyette for three, and that's good. And the Lady Bulldogs now lead 14-5. And the Lady Pirates have possession, and there's a shot up. And that shot is no good. That will be a charge. And the Lady Bulldogs have the ball back. Madison Chambers over to the right. Chelsea Passage now in the game, and she's going to dribble it off her foot, and that's going to go out of bounds. And that will be Poteau ball. And Mika Bluford dishes it off to number 24, Victoria Archie, and she's going to pull up and shoot for three, and that's good. Score's now 14-8. Lady Bulldogs lead the Poteau Lady Pirates. Chelsea Passage bringing the ball up the floor. Madison Chambers down to McCloria, and she's going to drive to the bucket, go up for a shot, and that's going to get touched by the Lady Bulldogs, and that will be Poteau ball. Poteau now taking their time. 36 seconds left in the first quarter. Pass off to the right side to Jada Price. Jada's going to drive on Passage, and she's going to step out of bounds. That's going to be Muldrow ball. Taylon Collins checking back into the game now. And McCloria going to go have a seat. 28.3 seconds left in the first quarter. And we have Passage bringing the ball up the floor for the Lady Bulldogs. Madison Chambers with the ball. Up to Taylon Collins, over to Passage, down to Paige Hughes, and Paige did not see that pass coming. Here's Passage for three, and that's good at the buzzer. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back for the second quarter.
You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
And we're going to bring you back in live with a little cat scratch fever going on in Muldrow, Oklahoma. Start of the second quarter now, 17-8. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead this ball game over the Poteau Lady Pirates, and they will have possession out of bounds. Here's the inbound pass to number 22, Kinsey Newman. And a pick set is no good. Here's a shot for three from the left, and that is no good as well. Rebound by Hannah Boyette. She sends the ball all the way down the floor to Chelsea Passage. And that is up and in, good for two, and the score is 19-8. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead, 7:35 now left in the second quarter. 3 team fouls by Muldrow, 2 team fouls by the Lady Pirates. So we're okay and away from the bonus right now for this half. Number 3, Mika Bluford, looking for a place to go, and she is going to dish it off to the left. They keep leaving Kinsey Newman open for three. There's a steal by Taylon Collins, and she's going to drive it all the way down. There is a layup, good for two. We're going to have a timeout by Poteau, and we will be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
Then we're going to bring you back in live. Lady Pirates with the possession after the timeout. Pass over to the right to Bluford. She's going to pull up for a three-point shot, way off the mark. Rebounded by Hannah Boyette, passed over to Passage. And Chelsea's going to bring the ball up the floor. And she's going to alley-oop to Taylon Collins. That's a little off the mark, but Taylon does get the possession. And Chelsea Passage now with the ball over to the right to Hannah Boyette for three. And that's off the mark, and it hits the high wire. And that's going to be considered an out-of-bounds ball. The Lady Pirates will have possession. Lady Pirates. Here's Mika Bluford. Pass over to the right side and double dribble. Well, number 23, Emily Gwynn, and the Lady Bulldogs will have the ball back. Cameron Johnson with the inbound pass to Chelsea Passage, and she's going to bring the ball up the floor. Hannah Boyette sitting over to the right by herself. She's got the ball now. And she is going to alley-oop to Taylon Collins, and Taylon Collins is up for two, and that's good. Lady Bulldogs now 23-8. They lead these Poteau Lady Pirates. And the ladies of Poteau trying to find somewhere to go. Pass over to the left to Bluford. Mika is going to go for a halfway drive and then pull back out. Chelsea Passage with the steal, and she is going to get around the floor, and she will be fouled trying to make it to half court. There's a shot for three by Cameron Johnson, and that is good. Lady Bulldogs now up 26-8. And there is a pass over the left by the Lady Pirates, and a drive with a pass out to the right, and another drive and a lost ball. Taylon Collins making a fast break, gives it to Cameron Johnson, and she's up for two. And just like that, the Lady Bulldogs are up by 20 with 5 minutes left in the second quarter. 28-8 is the score, and there is a two-point shot good by Poteau. 28-10 now. Chelsea Passage has the ball after the inbound pass by Taylon Collins. And now Chelsea Passage over to the right to Hannah Boyette to Cameron Johnson for another three. That's a little off the mark. Shaylin Mays gets the rebound and goes up for the shot. And it's no good, but she does draw the foul. So Shaylin Mays will be going to the line for two here. And here is her first free throw, and that's off the back of the rim, no good. Two substitutions now back in the game. Jada Price and Mika Bluford for the Lady Pirates. Here is Shaylin Mays and her second shot. That's up and good. And Madison Chambers is coming back in the game, and Shaylin Mays will have a seat for a couple of minutes. Inbound pass to Bluford. And Madison Chambers is going to pick up her first foul of the ball game. They collided at half court. Madison got up and knew where that was going. Here's the inbound pass to Price. And she is going to give it off. And here's a drive to the basket blocked by Taylon Collins. And Chelsea Passage with a pass over to Cameron Johnson, and the shot up is no good under the basket. And the Lady Pirates trying to find out what they want to do with this basketball. They need some points. There's a steal by Taylon Collins, recovered by Chelsea Passage, down the floor to Cameron Johnson. Cameron's up for two, and those points are good. And we're going to have a timeout by Poteau, and we will be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
And we're going to bring you back in live. Big thanks to Sparkman Animal Clinic on Highway 64 between Roland and Muldrow. Proud supporters of the Bulldogs and the Lady Bulldogs. Here's a shot up, no good. Rebounded by Taylon Collins. Taylon's on a fast break. One person to beat. Dishes it off to Hannah Boyette for three. And that's still no good. Hannah is off tonight from the three-point line. She put one in from the top of the key. Everything else from the side has been no good. And the ball went out of bounds after the shot. The Lady Pirates have the ball now. There's a spin around and a pass. Number 21, Lexi Wood, has the ball. And there's a shot up over Cameron Johnson, and it's good. 31-12 now. Lady Bulldogs lead. Pass over to the right side to Hannah Boyette. Back to Chelsea Passage. And Chelsea will give it back to Hannah Boyette. Back to Chelsea. A dish off over to Madison Chambers for three. Nailed it. Beautiful shot. Great form, perfect follow through, and 3 points on the board. 34-12 now with 2:50 left in the second quarter. Here's a shot for three by the Lady Pirates off the backboard. Hannah Boyette with a rebound, moving the ball up the floor, looking around to see who's with her, and she dishes it off to Madison Chambers. Madison puts it off the glass, no good, but gets her own rebound, puts another one off the glass, and that is good. And the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead 36-12. Brianna Dawes, Alicia McCloria, and Paige Hughes trying to get back in the game. Here's Cameron Johnson with a rebound and a dish off to to Hannah Boyette. Hannah gives it off to Taylor Collins down low for 2 points. That's good. We've got a timeout. Poteau, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
And we're going to bring you back in live. We'll get back to Auto Finders, but we do want to thank Sherry and the crew at Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith. I've had a couple of great conversations with Sherry in the last few days. And she is also a proud supporter of her niece, Cameron Johnson, number 15 for the Lady Bulldogs. And that's Dennis over there with a cold, if you can hear him. And here's the ball brought up the floor by Poteau. And a somewhat of a drive, and here's a shot up, and that's good for two. And the Poteau Lady Pirates put two more on the board. Here's Brianna Dawes out to the left, and she's going to skip past to Paige Hughes. Erica Jenkins in the ball game now, and Brianna Dawes can't hold on to that pass, and that ball's going to go out of bounds. And the Lady Pirates looking for somewhere to go now. And there's a shot up, no good, rebounded by Brianna Dawes. She's going to give it up to Jenkins, and that pass is going to get taken away by Poteau. Here's Jada Price, and she's going to pull up for a three-point shot. That's no good. Rebounded by the Lady Pirates, and that shot is good for another 2 points. 38-16 now. Lady Bulldogs with a commanding 22-point lead. And here's a pass over to Paige Hughes. Over to McCloria at the top of the key. Over to the right to Brianna Dawes. Down to McCloria. Back to Brianna Dawes. She is going to drive around and give it to Paige Hughes. Paige back to the top of the key. Going to give it to McCloria, but she cannot get to the pass. Last touch by Poteau out of bounds. And this is Muldrow ball. So here's Paige Hughes. Dish off to McCloria, and a pass down to Maddie Reeves is no good, but Erica Jenkins keeps it alive for the Lady Bulldogs. Here's Paige Hughes out top with the ball. Over back to McCloria for three. Off the mark, rebounded by Paige Hughes, and Paige goes up for a shot. That's no good. Rebounded by Jenkins, dished off to Brianna Dawes, and that is good for two. The Lady Bulldogs lead now with 17 seconds left, 40-16. And there is a foul down low by, I don't know who they're going to call that on. Looked like they called it on 20, but Erica Jenkins was way off to the left. They are going to call that on Jenkins. She was nowhere near the ball. Here's the first free throw up and no good. Matt Reeves and Brianna Dawes were on defense on that play on the shooter. But they whistled that on Jenkins anyway. So with 10.3 seconds left, here's the second free throw up by Poteau, and that's no good. I'm sorry, that is good. First one. 40-17 now, 7 seconds left in the first half. McCloria over to Hughes. Hughes over to McCloria. She's going to throw up a three. That's no good at the buzzer. And at halftime, the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead 40-17. We're going to take a break with words from our sponsors, and we will be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
Man, we're going to bring you back in live at halftime. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead 40 to 17. Dennis McCaslin has compiled his stats for halftime. Dennis, what do you got?
Well, as much as you expect with a score like it is at the halftime, one of the things that's pretty exciting for these Muldrow girls is something we've seen a lot of this year. They had 8 different girls score in the first half. Leading the way, of course, was Taylon Collins with 8 points. We had 6 points from Cameron Johnson, and McCloria. We also had 5 points from Hannah Boyette, 4 points each from Mays and Passage, and 2 points on a bucket from Brandon Dawes. And that rounds out the scoring for the Lady Bulldogs. The Lady Tigers had balanced scoring. They actually had 6 players that scored, but none of them scored more than 4 points. There were 3 with 4 points. Was Wood, Newman, and Archie. Price finished with 2. Blueford finished with 2, and then Gwen hit a free throw, and that's all the scoring. The difference in the first half was there was a lot of shots taken by both teams.
Yes.
Muldrow did manage to shoot 50% on 15 from 30 from the floor, while the Poteau girls only shot 31.5%, 6 of 19. One of the things that we saw tonight that was an improvement of what we've seen on the Muldrow girls in the last few weeks was the free throw percentage. They only went to the line 5 times, but they hit 4 of the free throws and converted 4 of the free throws, while Poteau finished up 3 for 4, 75%. And that's what leads us to this 40-17 halftime advantage for the Lady Bulldogs.
Yeah, and I know that there hasn't been a whole lot of free throw shots taken, but I think this is a better free throw percentage on both sides of the floor than we saw for the entire Sequoia County tournament.
I think so. I don't think we ever saw anybody shoot more than 30-40% in the whole
gravy
tournament.
Yeah, terrible. We've got about 40 seconds left, so we're going to keep it right here. I'm going to go ahead and I've got commercials still looping. I'm going to go ahead and pause these. Nobody can hear these, though. If you're listening live on the website or on Mixler, go ahead, get on Facebook. Spread the word. Tell everybody where they can find this link where they can listen to the rest of the ball game for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. And at 8 p.m., about 45 minutes from now, we will see the Muldrow Bulldogs, the boys team. They will play these Poteau Pirates. And Madison Chambers is now out of bounds. She's going to pass the ball in to start the second half for the Lady Bulldogs. Back on their side of the court, Cameron Johnson open on the three-point line. And she throws the ball away. I don't understand that. Taylon Collins ends up coming up with it. And here's Madison Chambers with a drive, and she throws it away on her way to Shaylin Mays. And if we can convince these ladies to take shots when they're open, we can cut down on turnovers. And here are the Lady Pirates. The cheerleaders swapping pom-poms in front of me. That almost faked me out. We've got a Poteau player just went down on her back, Kenzie Newman. I don't even think she was touched. Number 24, Victoria Archie with the ball. She cannot figure out where to go. Still got the ball, dribbling it around between the left and right sides of the top of the key, dishes it off to Blueford. And Blueford with a drive, and she's going to get that almost taken away. And here's Jada Price with a shot down low, no good. Rebounded by Taylon Collins on a mad dash to the basket. She's going to drive in and go up for a layup, and that is good for 2. 42-17 now. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs in the lead. Very handily, doing what they do best. Mercy sakes, Victoria Archie with the ball again, just doing nothing. They're having a conversation, her and a teammate. And here is a pass to Blueford. Mika wants to put points on the board. I know how she plays. Archie with the ball again. Archie still with nothing going on. She's sitting in the corner. Shaylin Mays is all over her. Nowhere to go. The referee even threw his hand up like somebody, let's do something. And here is a semi-drive, and a shot up is good between two people. Madison Chambers shaking her head. She couldn't believe it. Here's a pass down low to Taylon Collins, knocked away by the Lady Pirates. And Muldrow will retain possession with a 42-19 lead 5:35 left in the third quarter. Inbound pass to Madison Chambers, and she's going to drive for a jump shot, and that's good for two. And here come the Lady Pirates. Archie with the ball again, holding it. Here comes the dribble. This is riveting basketball on this side of the floor. Here is Bluford. She's going to drive in by Mays and throw a shot up. That's no good. And that foul is going to be on Jada Price for the Lady Pirates. Taylon Collins attempting the rebound, and she does get fouled. Here's the inbound pass. Hannah Boyette over to the right to Cameron Johnson for three, and she nails it. Another shot good by Cameron. (47-19) now. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with the lead. And here's a pass down here down low by the Poteau Lady Pirates. They still can't figure out what to do with this basketball. Pass down to Bluford in the corner. She's going to drive. Still nothing doing. Number 22, Kenzie Newman with the ball. Now it's back out to Archie. Victoria Archie does not like to go anywhere with the ball. She turns around and looks at her coach, and he's telling her to get moving and play some basketball. Nika Bluford now with the ball. And she is going to pass it straight to Taylon Collins. Taylon over to Madison Chambers, and she goes up for two, and that's no good, but she does draw the foul. And Madison Chambers going to the line for two shots. Clock stops with 3:44 left in the third. 47-19 is your score until now. 48-19. So if Madison can knock this free throw down, we're creeping up on a 30-point lead for the Lady Bulldogs. And the shot's up and good. 49-19 now. Lady Bulldogs with a commanding lead. Bluford now with a pass to the top of the key. And Jada Price gives the ball up. And she throws the ball away, but they do get the ball back. Jada Price now with the possession, and she is going to throw the ball. These Lady Pirates not having a lot of luck against these Lady Bulldogs. They're going to call a foul down low on Shaylin Mays. Number 23, Emily Gwynn. First free throw up is good. It's 49-20 now. Lady Bulldogs still with the lead. Second shot up is good. And McCloria for three. That's no good. Rebounded by Poteau, and they're on a fast break. There is a shot up by Poteau underneath the basket, and that is good for another 2 points. Here's Taylon Collins to Hannah Boyette. She's just going to drive right in and put a shot up off the backboard, and that's good for two. Hannah went for a little Sunday drive on that, took it from the three-point line all the way to the bucket. And now the Lady Pirates, they will try to decide how much basketball they want to play. And there's Hannah Boyette with a takeaway, and they're just going to call a jump ball on that. So here comes the inbound pass by the Lady Pirates, and picked off by Chelsea Passage. And Paige Hughes over to Taylon Collins, and she's going to dish it off to McCloria under the basket. Back out to Paige Hughes for three. And that's off the mark. Taylon Collins goes for the rebound, and that is going to be a foul on Alicia McCloria. That's going to be her second of the ball game. So the ball is back down here to Poteau and picked off by Taylon Collins. She's going to take it straight to the hoop, puts up a shot, no good, rebounded by Poteau. And here's a shot down low by Jada Price, no good. She got her own rebound. Taylon Collins with an arm up, and the shot is no good. And here's Hannah Boyette with a shot down low, and she gets hammered, and nobody calls a foul. And the Lady Pirates have the ball. They're bringing the ball up the floor. And there is a layup down low, no good, rebounded by Paige Hughes, but that's going to be an over-the-back foul. And Passage going to bring the ball up the floor. Pass over to Paige Hughes, back to Passage. Back over to Hughes. 53 seconds left here in this third quarter. Hughes with the ball now. Ball back over to Passage. They're playing back and forth. 42 seconds left. Over to Hannah Boyette in the corner. Back to Passage. Back to Hughes. Back to Passage at the top of the key. Not a lot going on. They're just draining the clock. 23 seconds left now in the third quarter. And Passage is going to dribble. And she's going to get around her defender and put up a shot. And they're going to wave the shot off and say that that is on the floor. Still a score of 23-51. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead with 13.1 seconds left. Here's the inbound pass to Hannah Boyette. She's going to fake and drive and kick it out to Cameron Johnson for three. No good. Rebounded by Chelsea Passage. Back out to Hannah Boyette. 3 seconds left now. And Hannah goes up under the basket and puts one in, and that is good. And we have the end of the third quarter going into the fourth. We're going to take a quick timeout, and we will be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
Then we're going to bring you back in live. The inbound pass from Cameron Johnson to Chelsea Passage. Over to McCloria and back over to Passage. Madison Chambers with the ball now. McCloria in the corner. She's going to give it up and get it taken away. And here comes Poteau. And they're going to pass the ball off, and it's going to get knocked out of bounds by Chelsea Passage. And that will retain possession for the Lady Pirates. Here comes the inbound pass. There's a shot up down low, no good with a travel. And that will be Lady Bulldogs ball. Pass over to the left of McCloria down in the corner to Chambers. Back to McCloria, back to Passage. Back to Paige Hughes. Back to Passage, back to McCloria, back to Chambers. All the way around the court. McCloria now with the ball. Lady Pirates finally playing some defense in this ball game. Madison Chambers down low to Cameron Johnson, over to McCloria, and she goes up for a shot and gets fouled. And so Alicia McCloria going to the line. She puts up a first shot. That's no good. Second shot up is no good as well. And the Poteau Lady Pirates with the rebound. And now they're going to come back down to their side of the floor and figure out what they want to do with this basketball. Here's a drive and a shot up. That's no good. Rebounded by Cameron Johnson. And Cameron's going to take the ball up the floor by herself, but she's going to slow it down on the right side and dish it off and get it taken away. And here come the Lady Pirates. And a pass down low. Cameron Johnson with a big block. That's going to be out of bounds. And the Lady Pirates bring the ball back in. Here's a shot for three, and that's good. And here come the Lady Bulldogs bringing the ball back down to their side of the floor. Chelsea Passage over to the right. Madison Chambers down low to Cameron Johnson, and she is going to have to get rid of it. There's McCloria over to Passage. She fakes. Gives the ball back off to McCloria, off to Cameron Johnson, down to Madison Chambers, and she drives in. And she gets fouled, but nobody blows the whistle. The Lady Pirates come up with the basketball, and now they're driving. They're going to lose the ball out of bounds, and that ball belongs back to the Lady Bulldogs. And we're going to have a whole new five in the ball game here. We're going to have Dawes, Jenkins, Mays, Collins, and Boyette in the ball game. Here's the inbound pass to Taylon Collins, back to Hannah Boyette. And Hannah is going to bring the ball up the floor. Over to Collins on the right side, down to Jenkins. Skip pass all the way out to Brianna Dawes. Back to Boyette, back to Collins, back down to Jenkins, back to Boyette for three. Nailed it. 3-point shot good for Hannah Boyette. 56-26 now here in the fourth quarter, and there's an air ball by the Pirates. And here comes Taylon Collins up the floor. And she's going to put up a shot and get hammered under the basket. She will go to the line for 2 free throws. And her first shot is no good. Mika Bluford coming back into the game for Poteau. And Taylon Collins taking her second shot from the free throw line. It is up, and that one is good. 57-26 now, 31-point lead for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. This is what they do best on any court. Doesn't matter home or away. This is how the Bulldogs play ball. Here is Poteau on their side of the floor, and they're going to go ahead and throw it. And that is a backcourt violation. The ball will belong back in the possession of the Lady Bulldogs. Inbound pass from Taylon Collins to Hannah Boyette. And Hannah's going to give it off down low to Shaylin Mays, and she is going to send it to Jenkins, back out to Dawes, back over to Boyette, and she is going to dish it off down low. And here's Shaylin Mays with a shot up, and that is good. 59-26 left now is our score. 4:20. I didn't plan that. Here's a pass to Jada Price down low for the Lady Pirates. And here's a shot up and a foul on the floor. So with 4:11 left in the fourth quarter, 59-26. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead. Passage is coming in the game. Lacey Smithson is in the game. Maddie Reeves is in the game. Taylon Collins, Shaylin Mays, and Hannah Boyette will take a seat. Shot for three by Poteau, no good. Rebounded by Jada Price. And a putback shot is no good. Rebounded by Mika Bluford. And here's a three-point shot, no good, by the Lady Pirates. Rebounded by Brianna Dawes. Brianna's going to lose it out of bounds. Last touch by Mika Bluford. And that will be the Lady Bulldogs' possession. Here's the inbound pass from Dawes to Passage. 3:52 left in this ball game. Passage over to Dawes. Dawes over to Smithson. Smithson back to Dawes. Back to Passage. Down to Maddie Reeves at the high post. Back out to Passage and Jenkins. Back to Maddie Reeves. Over to Dawes, and she's going to pull up for three. And that's good. Beautiful shot. (62-26) now. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead. Lady Pirates looking for something to do. Bluford for three. Way off the mark. Rebound by Jenkins. Over to Passage, and she puts up a shot, gets blocked, and she dishes it off down low to Lacey Smithson. Lacey puts in 2 points, and the crowd goes crazy for Lacey. Shot for three is good. by the Poteau Lady Pirates, and we've got a whistle, but I don't know where that's coming from. 64-29 now. 2:50 left in this ball game. Lady Bulldogs with the ball and the lead. A very commanding lead. Jenkins with the ball out on the left side. Over to Dawes. She almost took that three. Back over to Jenkins. Back down low. And we've got a 3-second violation by Lacey Smithson. And the Poteau Lady Pirates will have the ball back. They're bringing it up back to their side of the floor. 2:26 now left in this ball game. Here's the three-point shot. No good by the Lady Pirates. Rebounded by Poteau. Shot up no good. Smithson with the rebound. Lacey all over the floor tonight for the Lady Bulldogs. And there's a pass up the floor to Passage from Dawes down to Maddie Reeves. And Maddie's up and in good for two. (66-29) now. Lady Bulldogs in command. There's a three-point shot. No good from Poteau. Rebounded by Brianna Dawes, and she's going to hand it off to Smithson. And Lacey gives it back to Brianna Dawes, and Brianna's going to bring the ball up the floor. Over to Passage. Oh, she's wide open. Over to Dawes. Back to Passage at the top of the key. Down to Lacey Smithson, and she's looking. Back to Passage. Back to Dawes. Back to Passage. This is going to be keep away from the Pirates now. Here's a drive by Brianna Dawes. She goes in and puts up a shot, and that's no good, but she does draw a foul, and she will go to the free throw line for Dos Pointos. That is not how you say that in Spanish. 2 shots for Brianna Dawes. Here's the first shot up and no good. These Lady Bulldogs miss more free throws than I have ever seen, but they always pull out a win. Brianna Dawes with her second shot. That's good. (67-29). Lady Bulldogs in command. Shot for three from Poteau, and that's good again. And Brianna Dawes with the ball up the floor, and we are exactly 1 minute left in this ball game. 67-32. Brianna Dawes gives it to Passage over to Jenkins. And Jenkins back to, that's Paige Hughes in the ball game. Passage not in the ball game right now. Here's Paige Hughes with the ball again. Back over to Jenkins. Maddie Reeves says, give me the ball, and she powers one down. But she is going to lose that in a jump ball, and it's going back toward Poteau. And here come the Lady Pirates looking for something to do with 28 seconds left in this ball game. Here's a pass down low, and Paige Hughes with a steal. Paige is going to drive, and she gets hammered. And I don't believe that she was going up for a shot, but that will be the 8th team foul. And Paige Hughes is going to the line. Her first shot is up and in good. And Paige with a second shot up and no good. Rebounded by Poteau. With 17 seconds left, it would behoove these Lady Bulldogs not to foul. Here's another three-point shot by Poteau, no good. And smartly, Paige Hughes lets the ball go out of bounds. Last touch by Poteau, 8.5 seconds left in this ball game. Erica Jenkins with the ball on the right side. She throws up a three-point shot. That's no good at the end of the ball game. It is 68-32. That's the type of final score we're going to have. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with another blowout win. We are going to take a break. Dennis is going to compile some stats. I see the Ramey family listening live. We appreciate you guys. And we will be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
And we're going to bring you back in live. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with a domination again on this basketball court. Dennis McCaslin next to me. And we've got some stats. Dennis, what do you got?
Pretty much what we expected, Clint. This Muldrow team has been dominant just about every game they played this season. This Poteau girls team has struggled some, but we had 10 players score for Muldrow in the contest tonight, and it's just stair-stepping stuff. Actually, Chambers finished with 13 to lead all scorers. She was backed up by Boyette, finished with 12. Taylon Collins had 11, 9 points for Cameron Johnson, 6 points each for Mays, Dawes, and McCloria. And let's see, where we got 4 points for Passage and a single free throw for Hughes. That wraps up the scoring for the Lady Bulldogs. For the visiting Lady Tigers, leading the way with 12 points was Gwen. Gwen only had 3 at the half, but she had three-pointers in the second half to finish with 12 points. 8 points for Newman, 4 points for Archer and Wood, 2 points each for Bluford and Price. 67-32, your final score, and the Lady Bulldogs just keep on rolling.
Yeah, they're unstoppable at this point. It took a little crooked officiating in Tulsa to keep them, from having an undefeated season so far. So we've got about 10 minutes left in the break between the boys and the girls games. We're missing a couple of players tonight. I think Caleb Armour is on the bench this evening, and Gleason is in Texas playing football at AT&T Stadium. They are playing live as we speak, so we're going to be missing those two, and we're going to take you to more words from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with Muldrow Bulldogs basketball.
You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.